Hi guys, and welcome to the Tableau for Salesforce Kickstart training given by Biztory. My name is Kjell and I'm a consultant for Biztory. In this introductory training, we're going to talk about Tableau and Salesforce. What is Tableau? What products does Tableau have to offer? How can you work with them? And can we integrate Tableau with Salesforce? Meaning, can we get data out of Salesforce and into Tableau, create visualizations based on that data, and dashboards based on our Salesforce data. In order to kick off this training, I'm going to go over some of the products of Tableau. One of the main and most important products is Tableau Desktop. Tableau Desktop is what we call a development environment. In this software, we're going to connect to different data sources. One of the data sources, of course, can be Salesforce, for example, Sales Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and so on. You can also connect to other different data sources, like Microsoft SQL Server, Google Analytics, but also like to flat files like Excel, PDFs, JSONs, and so on. You can combine these different data sources into one data source tool to enrich your data and get the clearest answers out of your data. Based on the data source you created, using Salesforce data or other data, you can start creating visualizations. I'm going to create worksheets later on in this course. One worksheet equals one visualization. If we combine those different visualization or worksheets, we are getting a dashboard. And a dashboard is the combination of those visualizations. Once our dashboard is done, we can actually publish it to an audience using the second product we will talk about today, and that's Tableau Server. Tableau Server is the centrally distributed system of Tableau. We're going to publish our finished workbook onto Tableau Server, and users can log into Tableau Server via their browser and interact with the dashboards the way the developer has intended it to. All functionalities are available in Tableau Server, and it's the gateway portal for all users, management, business, and so on. So let's start the training by opening Tableau Desktop and see what it looks like. This is Tableau Desktop. If we open the software, the first screen we will see is this screen. The most important part of the screen is the connect part. Within the connect part, we're going to connect to different data sources. Tableau already made a distinction between two types of data sources. First of all, we have a file, and secondly, we have a server. Files can be Microsoft Excel files, text files, JSON files, PDF files, and so on. There's a lot of different possibilities there too. Servers are databases. You can connect to different servers. The most common ones, of course, are Microsoft SQL Server. We also have a Snowflake connection. We can also connect to Google Analytics. So there's a lot of different possibilities to get to data that is hosted on a server. The attentive viewer might already have spotted that there's also a Salesforce button within the To a Server pane. This is the native connector of Tableau Desktop, connecting Tableau Desktop to Salesforce. It is important to notice that this native connector for now is only available for Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, not yet for Commerce Cloud and the other Salesforce products. This might come soon, but it is not available yet. If we click on Salesforce, Tableau is going to ask my Salesforce credentials. So let's start by typing this in. you should get an email to verify your identity with a code. So let's verify. The last screen Tableau is going to prompt us is the question to get the data from Salesforce. Do we, as a Salesforce user, allow Tableau to get to the data it needs in order to perform the analysis? Of course, we want to do that, otherwise we won't be able to get the data out of Salesforce and into Tableau. So right here, we're going to select Allow. Once that's done, we are connected to Salesforce. You can see this on the left-hand side, connections. You can actually see that we have a connection to login.salesforce.com, so this is a successful connection. This is the second screen of Tableau Desktop. Within this screen, we are going to connect to the different data sources. So we're going to actually check the different tables that there are available in the connection that we have made. There are also two sections right here. First section is called a standard connection, and the second section is called a table. The table are all the different tables that are available within our Salesforce instance, and all the tables that we can use using the connection. As you might already spot, there's a lot of different tables, so it's very important to know where your data is actually situated and what tables to use in order to get the data out of Salesforce. Luckily for us, Tableau already provided some standard connections. A standard connection is a combination of different tables that Tableau already foresees, so that we can just drag and drop this into our data source screen, so we don't need to think about all the combinations of the different tables down below. These standard connections are, for example, counts, cases, contacts, leads, opportunities, and so on. So how do we get the Salesforce data in Tableau? Well, it's very easy. We just drag and drop our opportunities to the Drag Tables Here pane on the right-hand side, like this. So we'll take it, drag it, and drop it. This takes some seconds. Now we will actually be able to see all the different fields that are available in our connection. All these fields are coming directly from Salesforce and can be used in Tableau Desktop as of from now. There are two other things I want to point out here. The first thing is that an extract is required. What does that actually mean? An extract is a small file that Tableau is going to create with a copy of the Salesforce data in it. By using this, Tableau only needs to go to Salesforce once to get the data, and if we are visualizing later on, it is not connecting to Salesforce directly anymore. Obviously, we can schedule an extract to refresh on an automatic schedule. The second thing that we can do is change the name of our data source connection. Let's call this opportunities, like this, so that it's clear for what it stands. So we are connected to Salesforce. We have loaded some Salesforce data into Tableau Desktop. So let's get started, and we'll create some visualizations now in our worksheet screen. If we want to go to the worksheet screen, you can actually just click on the screen sheet 1, or in my case sheet 6, and you should be able to see something like this. It'll also take some seconds. These are all the different tables that our standard connection already provided. So we can see that we have account data, we can see that we have opportunities data, and so on. Within this screen, we're going to create a visualization. One worksheet equals one visualization. For example, a bar chart, a line chart, a donut chart, a pie chart, and so on. It's also very important to notice on the left-hand side that Tableau has created two sections. first section, going from account to measure names, is what we call the dimension pane. So what is a dimension? A dimension is a variable in your data source that is used in order to slice and dice your data. The second part, going from account to measure values, is called the measure pane. A measure is a variable that is used in order to perform mathematical functions. So it's possible to perform mathematical functions upon a measure. Now, let's get more into practicalities here and open, for example, the opportunities table. For measures, you can see that we have something that is called amount. So this is a measure because we can take a sum of the amount, we can take an average of the amount, a min and a max of the amount, and so on. If we open the opportunities table on the dimension section, you will see that we get a totally different type of variable, like for example, the name, or the stage, or some date stamps too, like last activity. It's very hard to take the average of a name, for example. That's why these are called dimensions. In Tableau, we're going to create visualizations that are combinations of dimensions and measures. So let's start by creating a bar chart that shows all our opportunities and the amounts that each opportunity actually represents. Let's start by double-clicking amounts. Tableau now shows us one bar chart with a value of 814 million. This is correct because Tableau just takes the sum of the complete amounts across all the different companies, across all the different opportunities, and doesn't take anything into account but the sum of the amounts. Of course, this information might be a bit redundant for us. We want to see this by opportunity instead of as a total number. If we double-click on name, within the opportunities tab, of course, we will actually get the amount according to each opportunity. So we can actually see that for Abbott 1184, the opportunity amount is 2 million, more or less. Here we're playing with a combination of dimensions and measures. So the measures are the bars and the dimension is the split. Obviously, this is not really easy to read for people, so it should be easier if the opportunity axis is set on a horizontal axis instead of a vertical one, so we can read it like normal human beings. And this is easily done by clicking one button in Tableau Desktop, and that's this one, the swap rows and columns. If we click on that button, the two axes swap, and we get our names onto the horizontal axis, which makes it much easier for us to read. The second enhancement that we can make to this graph is sorting. Right now, it's not very clear what opportunity is the biggest and what is the smallest. In order to do that, we can sort our visualization going from the biggest opportunity to the smallest opportunity. We're going to sort this in a descending order. There's also a button in Tableau Desktop in order to do that, and that's this little fellow right here, called Sorted Descending by Sum of Amounts. So if we click on that button, we will see that we can see the biggest opportunities on top and the smallest opportunities down below. So we know that Butler 33, the opportunity for Butler 33 is the biggest opportunity that we have for the moment, an amount of 8.5 million, more or less. So we have created our first visualization in Tableau Desktop. Just as in Excel, you have the possibilities of changing the names of your tabs. Down below here, you can see that this is called sheet 6 or sheet 1, and that's not the best naming convention. In order to change this, we can double-click on the tab and rename this to something more useful, like opportunities by amount. Let's create a second visualization by clicking the button next to our opportunities by amount. We get exactly the same screen as before, but without the visualization, obviously. There are multiple different ways of visualizing in Tableau. So before we double-clicked on the variables, but we also have a second possibility, and that's by using the Show Me button. The Show Me button is situated on the right-hand side, and you can just click on it. You can see for now that everything is grayed out, which means that we cannot create a visualization based on this. So we can never click on any button that is mentioned here. These are all different kinds of visualizations that are possible, but Tableau has more visualizations, not only these. These are just the most common visualizations that there are within Tableau. So let's start and try to create a line chart. If we hover over the line chart, we can actually see a little explanation. Tableau is asking us for one date and one measure. I already talked about the split between measures and dimensions, so I'm not going to go into detail there, but it's also asking me for one date. Now, a date is actually linked to the little icon just in front of the variable. You can see in front of the variable that you have little icons. These icons represent the data type. So we have ABC, which is just a normal word or character. We have TF, which basically is a Boolean, yes or no question, and then we have a little calendar that says a date. So let's select a date. Now you will see that Tableau highlights one visualization, the text table. We do not need anything else than just one date field in order to create a text table. But we do not want to create a text table, we want to create a line chart. In order to create a line chart, we're going to hold Command or Control and also select Amount. As you might see right now, there are multiple visualizations that are highlighted. So we can use a pie chart, a bar chart, a tree map, and so on. But for this, we're going to create a line chart. So let's click on Line Charts. Perfect. Now let's remove the Show Me panel. And now you will see that we have a visualization grouped by year. Obviously, this is not really easy because I want to see data by month, for example. Because Tableau has the notion of a date, it also has a notion of different months, days, quarters, and so on. In order to drill down the granularity of this visualization, we can use the little plus next to close dates. Now we will be able to see everything on a quarter level. We can hit plus again, and now we'll be able to see everything on a monthly level. So now we see that in September 2017, we had a total opportunity amount of 40,844,000. Just as before, we're going to rename the tab. As a last section in this introductory training, we're going to create or enhance a dashboard that we already pre-built. So this is a pre-built dashboard with all different kinds of information coming from the same data source. But we're going to add our two visualizations that we have created before into this dashboard. This is done. You can see the different visualizations under the Sheets pane right here. If you hover over them, you can also see a little thumbnail, which makes it very convenient. So let's take our opportunities by amount and drag it into the dashboard. This is just done by drag and dropping like this. We'll leave it. I'm going to remove the white space because we don't need it anymore. And there we have, and there we have all our opportunities by amount in our dashboards. We can do exactly the same for opportunities by month. So we just drag and drop this into the dashboard. Again, I'm going to remove the white space. And now we can see the evolution of our amount by month. It's also very nice that possibility within Tableau that there's that we can use different graphs in order to visualize or to filter other visualizations. So right now I'm just selecting multiple visualizations within the lost tab, and we can actually see what opportunities these actually are. In order to get a more in-depth training on how dashboards work, how worksheets work, on how we can connect Tableau Desktop and Tableau to Salesforce, I recommend you can go to our website biztory.com and sign up for our introductory Kickstart training, which is available on our website. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope you liked it.